Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Demastered. I'm Wade, and I'm here with Chelsea as always. And today's episode, we are covering our entire year of 2024. It is time to wrap it up, call it a day, and look into next year and see what's going to happen there. So, Chelsea, you ready for your year in review?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it all. We have quite a few categories to cover.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of go through basically all the media that we have participated in over this last year, which has been quite a lot, I think, depending on the category. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is a big old nerd podcast, so we're here to get nerdy. Chelsea, do we want to start with the TV shows?
I think so.
I think you probably have watched more TV shows than me this year. A lot of my TV show viewing has been like repeats. And when I say repeats, I mostly mean like American Dad and Family Guy. Those are kind of like my comfort shows I can just turn on and do other things with. But what's something you watched this year?
Yeah. Now, I've watched like a handful of TV shows. I normally don't watch like that many TV shows. I'm more of a movie person, but I've watched some shows like Only Murders in the Building, the 4th season. I watched Yellow Jackets for the first time, watched the new season of Heartstopper. But I mean, we both watched this show. This is probably my favorite show, honestly, of the year. Agatha All Along.
Oh my gosh.
Can't go wrong with that. It was a blast.
That was a blast, and like I think I've rewatched all of it like once or twice since the finale aired.
Yeah,
and it's fun going back through that second time, you know, and
yeah,
catching all the stuff. You know, oh my gosh, it's so good. The writing team, which is the same writing team that did WandaVision, they just keep going? Can they just take over the entire MCU? Like, I don't see why not.
No. I love all the little like things they add. There's so many little like subtle moments. Even just the dialogue itself, like especially with Agatha All Along, there's so much going on to rewatch it again and again.
So much sass and camp.
That's what we need sometimes. We really just need sass and camp.
Well, and God bless Catherine Hahn, because that's all she is. So
yes, and that's what we need.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny because we actually just finished the last season of Heartstopper yesterday, the day before. Oh, wow. We really stretched it out because we can do the whole season in a day, like the day it comes out. And it's like, oh God, like I just wanted to feel it. I wanted time to get through it, and it was so good.
Yeah, I was like, you kind of need that time for this season, especially.
For this season, it's a lot deeper, and you know, the show's very cute, very happy, but this season kind of gives into a lot of those other things, which is good. Never complaining about that, because it's real. It's real life. So one of the big ones for me this year was was House of the Dragon season 2. I don't think we've talked about it. Have you seen any like Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon or anything?
No, I haven't watched that.
Okay. It was pretty good. I know a lot of people did not like the new season because it was slower than the first one.
Okay.
But narratively, I think it was appropriate because it's building up for like some really huge stuff in season 3. So you need the emotion. You need to know the characters before everything goes to hell. So it's important. It's important.
Yeah.
But we started What We Do in the Shadows this year.
Oh,
we haven't finished it yet. We're slowly making our way through it, but it's a good time. It's been pretty fantastic.
That's good. I've heard a lot of good things about that show. I just haven't watched it myself.
It's it's ridiculous, but it's a good time. So, would you say that Agatha All Along is like your show of the year?
I guess it kind of is. Yeah, it's the one that stands out to me the most.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Mine was actually Abbott Elementary.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that.
We started and finished it. We went through that one pretty quickly. But like, you know, that's relevant to my life.
Yeah.
So I hadn't watched it yet, but there's a lot of like, though this is like, it's funny because this is coming off as a joke. Like, we're using this as joke material in the episode, but like we all know, we have to laugh because else we'll cry. So, but it's so good. And actually, I think there's been some released episodes that I haven't watched yet, so I need to get on that.
At least you'll have some more to look forward to then.
Absolutely. Okay, well, are we ready to move on to our next category?
Yes.
Okay, next. Oh, here we go. Here's your time to shine. Next, we have movies.
Yes.
Do you want to kick us off?
Sure, I'll do that. Yeah, movies is always the big category for me every year. It's the thing that I always consistently watch a ton of. I tried to keep track of how many movies I watched this year. I think it was about a little over 60.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and out of all those movies, I think there was only about 8 of those movies that like I had previously seen. So they were just like repeat watches for me. Everything else was
Oh, okay.
new. But I mean, my year is pretty crazy because what we always do is that we watch everything before the Oscars. So I have a lot of Oscar nominated movies from earlier this year that I watched a ton of. Some of those were absolutely excellent. And then, I mean, there's still movies that we're not even going to be able to talk about in this episode because technically the year's not done when this episode comes out.
Technically, it's not. No, I understand. I've got 2 that I'm sitting on.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so there's a handful out there. But, I mean, do you want me to just list off a couple movies that I've seen this year?
Yeah, like what are some highlights for you?
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of start backwards. I think we can start with one that did come out fairly recently that overall was a pretty darn great movie, had amazing acting, great music. We're talking about Wicked.
Madam Web. Oh.
Madam Web, yes,
Awkward.
sorry. That was the fantastic musical of our lifetimes. Everybody go watch Madam Web. No.
It's on Netflix. It's fine.
Yes.
It's on Netflix. Oh, you said Wicked, though, right?
Yes, no, Wicked.
Yes. That's okay. Yeah, Wicked is my movie of the year too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that the day it came out, out of convenience, not because I was like jumping and ready to go. But now I am. I'd go watch it 5 more times in theaters if I could. There's not a day goes by that I don't like that. Like it doesn't like take up space in my brain.
Yeah, no, they packed a lot into that movie for sure, and it's also annoying though because it's such a tease. You have to wait a whole year for part 2, but
I mean, at least it's just a year. It could be worse.
Yes, no, it's so true. That could be like 2 years from now, but no, that was a really nice surprise. Honestly, that was a movie I was a little hesitant about seeing because
I think a lot of people were though. Like,
yeah, Wicked is just such a special thing. Seeing the actual show, just even listening to just like the cast recording of that, the story, even if you're interested in the book, like also I love the Wizard of Oz in general, so any like offshoot of that is always intriguing, but Wicked itself is a story I really enjoy.
It's a good story, and especially Act 1 where you have more of the like original Wicked story, and you have Act 2 where it's just like, oh, now we got to fit it into the Wizard of Oz. And I look forward to seeing like how they portray a lot of that on screen compared to like on stage.
Yeah.
But no, it was so good, and everybody, all the acting and stuff. Like, my biggest thing, I was worried about Ariana Grande as Galinda.
Yeah.
Because I was like, anytime any of these big pop people, like when Lady Gaga goes to act, I'm always like, am I gonna watch her character? Am I gonna watch Lady Gaga, you know?
Yes.
That's always my fear. But the second Galinda showed up on screen, like, I wasn't watching Ariana Grande at all.
No, she
Not
put
one bit.
so much heart and soul into this role. Like she really gave it her all, and it was fantastic.
It was, and and especially her character in the second act. Like, there's going to be some tears. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. But I am so excited, and that soundtrack will continue to be on repeat for quite a while, I think. Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
So yeah, like Wicked was a good one. I was going to say another movie that came out this year, though, that not the same vibe at all, you know, is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes. Oh, man.
Absolutely.
The love letter to 20th Century Fox and all the properties that came before it. Another fun
The love
Marvel
letter
movie.
that we didn't expect. Like, we didn't know it was going to be that. And then, oh, man, watching those credits roll, holy cow.
Yes.
Ooh.
Like, oh, man. Great time.
That is crazy. But my movie watching experience this year was a weird one. We went to the theater quite a bit over the course of this long year, but we only watched like 2-3 brand new movies. We watched Madam Web. Hilarious.
The greatest movie of all time.
The greatest movie of all time. We watched Deadpool and we watched Wicked. But we also went to the theater probably twice as much to watch older movies and special screenings. We watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the theatrical release. We watched End of Evangelion. Like, that was something to be in a theater for. Good Lord. We watched South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. The sing-along edition. Are you kidding me? It was amazing. We watched Howl's Moving Castle. We watched My Neighbor Totoro. it was just a good year to go watch old movies in theater.
Yes, that's fun.
But yeah, over the next week or so, we've got a double feature planned, so
yes,
we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to give away my double feature yet. That's
everybody
for the
can
next
guess.
episode. Yeah, that's for the next. Yeah, listeners, what am I watching? What two movies am I going to watch side by side? Can you guess? You're going to have to let me know, okay?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you next episode, though.
Yeah, exactly. We'll reveal it next episode. Oh, man. But yes, no. I'll be watching at least one of those movies as well. But, I mean,
You'll be doing the triple feature.
Yeah, you're right. Because there's one movie I can't resist seeing. You're right. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, no, it's been a crazy year for movies in general. I've also seen some really wild movies, some older movies as well. I didn't watch the older movies in theaters, but I watched them on streaming. I watched actually a really quirky documentary. It was pretty fun. It was called The Pez Outlaw. It's about, like, the Pez candies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was talking about this guy, like, in the early years when Pez was becoming really popular in the US, how there were all these eccentric collectors who would try to, like, get all the, like, limited edition ones or ones that were made outside the US. And there was this guy who was like, well, I don't want to get Pez, like, in the US. I'm gonna go out of the country and get, like, them from, like, the main factory. And so he would, like, smuggle, quote unquote, like, all these, like, Pez containers to the US and then, like, sell them to collectors and stuff. And it was just this wild documentary.
Why did he have to smuggle them?
Because
was that something that he just really couldn't bring back to the States?
Yeah,
like,
well, it's like Pez originated outside of the US, but, like, there is a headquarters in the United States, and, like, they only sell the ones that are, like, allowed to be sold, and so they designed their own Pez dispensers, and so they didn't really want, like, other Pez dispensers or other ideas to be out in the mix. And so yes, and so also it was, like, not really illegal because there was nothing in it that they had, like, copyrighted or whatever, like, done a patent for, like, that only the Pez company could bring in ideas. And so, like, it technically wasn't illegal for him, but then he, like, literally would have to go through customs with his big bags full of Pez dispensers.
And they would probably be like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah. And then, I don't know, it was such an eccentric documentary, and it was like, I guess all this is real, like, it's crazy, but it's so funny. And they have, like, a convention, I think, actually, to this day in the US. Like, I don't know if it's in Ohio or something like that. That
sounds like an Ohio thing to do.
I hope it's actually Ohio and I didn't mess up, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then, like, I'll just quickly mention a couple other movies that I watched this year that were, like, Oscar nominated for early this year, like Killers of the Flower Moon, Godzilla -1, The Zone of Interest, and then also movies that'll probably be up against Wicked, which is, strangely enough, complete contrast, like Conclave. It's a really well done movie. It's insane about electing, like, a new pope. And then you have, like, something like Anora. Wild. But yeah.
Well, we'll have quite a selection to choose from next year too, I think.
Yes.
And I say that, and I'm still suffering from Saltburn last year, so. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yep.
It's enough said about that. Yeah. So our next category is kind of two categories. It's probably best if we split it up. But we're going to be talking books and comics. I know for a fact that this year I read a lot of books. And I also know for a fact that Chelsea read a lot of comics.
Yes, that is true.
I also read a lot of comics, but it's special that I bring up that Chelsea read a lot of comics because she had to read a lot of comics for the podcast this year. Like a ton. Like, yeah. I got to go count for next episode or something. Because
I counted.
Oh, you counted already?
Yes. It was a little over 300 comics I read this year.
Holy cow. And that was for one simple little idea we had. Just one little baby thing.
But fantastic idea. Listeners, if you're interested in X-Men comics for real, go check all of our episodes we've released so far that are about the Krakoan age of X-Men. We will be continuing that and finishing up early
We have
next year.
one act left. We've done 3.
Yes.
3 Krakoan ages already, and we have the fall of Krakoa coming the first part of next year.
Yes.
First quarter of next year. So Chelsea's got to get through those.
Yes.
And I'll finally get to talk about it because for me, Krakoa ended.
Yes, a while ago.
Holy cow. I mean, the spring, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say
something
of this
like
year.
That.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Late spring, I think it was. So that'll be nice to finally, like, and then we can start talking about the new X-Men stuff. And Chelsea can keep adding comics to her reading list.
Yes,
Although it's much less comics. It's much less than the Krakoan stuff, which, unfortunate, but hey.
You know, I'm not really complaining, though. Like, sometimes it felt like a lot, because there were definitely some stories that were a little, like, but all in all, a great time, though. I love X-Men.
I don't regret, and I purchased almost all of those comics, too. I don't really regret it. I mean, they're just fantastic. I need to get one box to put all of the Krakoan comics in, and just like seal it up tight and love it forever because I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
There were stories that were slower. Mm-hmm. There was once or twice where like one of the ages just kind of like I was like, what's happening? What? But just look at the whole thing, and it was such a lovely experiment. Like I'll miss the characters that the X-Men were during that age. I'll miss what we had and I'll cherish it forever. But Chelsea, did you read any other comics that weren't X-Men this year?
No, I don't think so. I think they were all for episodes, but hey, that was plenty.
That's you're right. That's plenty. And really, at the end of the day, you still might have read more comics than I did. Just going through my like normal rotation of comics. So, because I pull the X-Men stuff. I think most of the Spider-Man stuff. I don't really think there's hardly any Spider-Man that I don't get. And then a handful of like side things like Avengers and like Batman, Nightwing, and Titans. I think I get those too. But I haven't caught up on those 3 DC comics literally all year. I need to go back and read literally all of them that I got this year. But I think my favorite that I read this whole year for comics is probably the new Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
The new Ultimate Universe started, I think, at the end of last year. I believe it was the very end of last December. And then in January, Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 came out. Number 12 actually just came out this last week. And it has been such a fun ride to see a different Peter Parker, like in this universe, like how this Ultimate Universe has been created, I suppose, was that the maker, who is like evil Reed Richards, from the original Ultimate Universe, he has gone through the history of this new Earth and stopped or controlled anything that would have happened, like anything supernatural, anything that would have created a superhero. Like all of the origin stories, he put a stop to them all. So the world could be created in the way that he wanted to be created. Not that there aren't super people. It's just that the ones that he chose to let continue to grow are under his control. Like, they rule the world, essentially. And, like, this ghost government kind of thing. And that gets kind of stopped. And when the Maker gets stopped, that's kind of when this Ultimate Universe begins. And Tony Stark, who is not Iron Man, he's Iron Lad, because he just kind of became Iron Man, like his dad was. Mm-hmm. And his dad is the one who kind of saved the world from the Maker. Well, Tony was like, well, he gets all of the data and stuff from the Maker, where I went back to this year and stopped this from happening, because the Maker also collected the stuff that would have turned these people into things, like the radioactive spider. He had that. The Maker kept that. And so Tony delivered that to Peter Parker with a suit, not quite the Spider-Man suit, but a suit. And said, hey, like, in a different world, you would have been this person. But now you get to choose if you want to do it. Open this canister and, like, your destiny awaits, essentially. And Peter chooses to do it. But Peter is not a child. Peter is a fully grown man, married to Mary Jane, with 2 children, when he becomes Spider-Man.
Wow.
Like, a beard and everything. Like, he becomes a completely different character. But it is so fun, the way that they have created this world slowly but surely. It's been such a good time, and I can't wait to, like, see where this new Ultimate Universe goes. Like, next year we'd get, like, Ultimate Wolverine, which is a whole thing. Like,
I can't imagine.
Because he's like the Winter Soldier. It's Logan. I'm pretty sure it's Logan. But in this world, he is the Winter Soldier with, like, a Wolverine mask. It's weird. It's different, but it looks fun. And usually I'm not a big Wolverine person, so.
Well,
but
hopefully, it'll just help put a more fun spin on his character.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope so. And through that comic, I think they're going to be slowly introducing X-Men people. Like, the characters. Not that there isn't, like, an X-Men group that's created, but, like, those characters, I'm hoping, kind of start coming around. But we'll see. Okay, so there's comics. Mm-hmm. Books. Did you read any books this year, Chelsea?
Only one.
Only one? What was it? Was it a good one, at least? Did you enjoy it?
I mean, you read it, too. I think I overall enjoyed it. It was Murtagh.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was for the podcast as well. Yeah, I didn't read as much as I wanted to. Well, I mean,
okay.
I read a lot of comics, but I just only read one book.
Well, comics you can move through pretty fast. Books, sometimes they just take a while, Yeah. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. I kind of had my renaissance in books this year.
Yes.
Growing up, I used to read all the time. Like, throughout high school, I always had a book in my hand. College really slowed that down. I was just reading more relevant things to, like, what I was doing in college. And then, since the start of teaching, it's been tough. But I really pushed myself this year, and I read 27 books.
Nice.
27 books. Wow. Now, some of them were audiobooks. But
still a book.
I count those. Yes. I know there's a lot of people who think, well, listening to an audiobook is not the same as reading. If you're here for the semantic argument, go away. we celebrate people doing all of the things. So, but and some of it was like series. Like my husband and we finished the Harry Potter series, which was his first time going through the series. We had to get through 5, 6, and 7 this year. We did that. Murtagh, of course. But one of the biggest things, and this will be like my book of the year, which is really like series of the year. But I completed, like literally just 2 days ago, I completed the entire Throne of Glass series, which is 8 books. It's a huge series spanning, it's a fantasy world, magic and fae and all that stuff. But it was so good. Like the end of the last book, Kingdom of Ash, gave me big, like, battle at Hogwarts vibes.
Okay.
Like, emotions just hitting you left and right and everything's happening. Like, the culmination of all of these things, I had the same feelings as when I was 18 reading The Deathly Hallows, And the author of these books, a very popular one right now, she does the ACOTAR stuff, the A Court of Thorns and Roses, there we go. She's the same author who does those, but it's way less like romance oriented. Okay. You have a romance; it's a fantasy series. You have love going on, but it is not like a theme. It's not anything like that. So, but I also started that. Like that's my choice. Like that's what I'm doing. So
yeah,
I'm very proud of myself on that front. But now I get
awesome.
to put together a list for next year, I guess. No. It's a lot. So maybe I can get you to read some too.
I'm sure, yes. In general, and I think there's some books that we might be doing on the podcast as well. So
who knows?
That'll be a thing.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I did get you to read over 300 X-Men comics, so.
Yeah. You didn't have to try too hard for that. You just had to say X-Men. So
I had to give you a password, and you went, okay.
Yes. Exactly. Any other books to note, or should we move on to our next category?
I'll save some for my highlights, I think, later on.
Okay.
But no, I think Throne of Glass, everybody go read it. Do it.
Very nice.
Okay, what's our next category?
Video games.
Oh, video games. How can I forget?
Yes. This was a pretty big category for me. I feel pretty satisfied with how many games I completed this year. There's also, of course, games that I just started that will take me forever because they're super long games, and as well as a game that you might have heard of, that we talk about called Dreamlight Valley. That game really has no end to it, so that doesn't count as a completed game.
I think we could say that that's our video game of the year. Because I don't think we ourselves can argue that fact. Like, there's too much math against us on that one. But, let's just set that to the side.
Yes, exactly.
Let's ignore it for now.
Yes. Oh, man. I think I completed about 10 games. I think that's what my list has.
Oh, 10?
So, yes.
Oh,
Some of them,
I did 8.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty... Unless I missed one, but I don't think I did. I only completed 8 games. The amount of games I started, We're not going to talk about that.
No. We could save that for later. Yes.
Yeah, but I did beat 8, so go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I can list my games off real quickly. Yeah, some of them vary by length. Like, some of them are pretty short, but I'll go through them all, and then we could talk about our favorites. So it was Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Trek to Yomi, Sifu.
I thought you said Shrek 2, and I was like, what?
No. Trek. No, Trek. No, it was a side-scrolling samurai fighting game. And then Sifu, Life is Strange, Chia, Season.
I didn't know you beat Chia. Okay.
Yes, I did.
Keep going.
Oh, yes.
Well,
yeah.
I'll ask in a second.
Okay. Season, A Letter to the Future. I do count Harry Potter Quidditch Champions as beating it because I got all the trophies in the game. So
okay.
Yeah.
There's that too.
And the story. Yeah. So
that's fine. The little baby story.
Yeah.
Story.
Death's Door. Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I guess that's it. And then I'm currently playing Fallout 4. So not anywhere close to finishing.
And you've been doing that for a while too. That's like an endeavor that you have been undertaking for a bit.
Yeah, it's taken a while to get into that one, but I've been enjoying it so far, and I'm I started it. I started it when you started it because we talked about it. Yeah.
But I was trying to like mod it on PC, and it was ticking me off because it wasn't as easy as modding Skyrim. So I'm like, I'll just set it to the side. And then like a month later, I got it on PlayStation because it was like stupid cheap. But the Game of the Year edition that comes with all the DLC was not stupid cheap. So now I have to go and like get the DLC. Like I don't want to like, it's like I'm playing Skyrim, but like I don't have the DLC for that. Like, I don't want to play that. I want to play all the stuff in it because the DLC like integrates into the full game, you know? But like the Fallout DLC is on sale right now.
Yeah. I don't have the DLC, to be honest.
You're just doing the normal game. Okay.
And there's plenty to do, and I know that there's some stuff that makes it cooler with the DLC, but I mean, Fallout 4 was one of the free games. That was one of the free PS5 collection packs, so that's how I'm playing it.
Well, I mean, if you're playing it free, you play it how you got it. Like nothing wrong with that. But I had started it, and I didn't get very far. I mean, like the point that I always get to before I stop, where you you get the people going and bring them back to like your town little area, and then like, okay, go do what you want. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no, I just had to choose direction. Yeah,
yeah, you literally point somewhere and march it. But that'll be a game that I will get back into someday. I will because I want to. I like the story. I need to get in there and get it, but we'll see. Right, well, the games that I finished this year, and it's quite a collection, I also began my year with beating Spider-Man 2. I beat Super Mario RPG on the Switch, the remake. Loved that. Oh my gosh. This year, I got kind of heavy into Pokemon ROM hacks. So like altered Pokemon games. I played, the only one that I have fully beaten as of yet is Pokemon Rocket Edition, where basically you're playing through like Pokemon Fire Red, the original, but you're playing as a Team Rocket grunt. Nice. And you beat other trainers, and when you win against a trainer, you get to take one of their Pokemon. Like, that's how you catch new Pokemon. You can go catch Pokemon if you want to, but they're going to be way stronger if you steal them from people. But it has an altered story from like the main Pokemon game, so it's pretty fun. I liked it. I beat Unpacked, which was just short little like 5-hour cozy game. Loved that. Life is Strange. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail came out this year. So the new story expansion, I beat that. Cult of the Lamb. And then just not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago, I beat Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door on the Switch as well. Which I was so happy I did because I never beat it on the GameCube like years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm currently trying to decide what game to focus on. Like what story game to focus on. But again, the amount of games that I've played that I have not beaten, or are ongoing, I suppose, is too many. Yeah. It's bad.
Well, I know you had a question for me about Chia, though.
Yeah, I didn't know that you beat Chia. Like, how was that?
Yes.
I've only, I bought it, I mean, I think I bought it on Steam, like, when it came out, but I only played for a few hours, and I just haven't really been back to it.
Yeah, it's surprisingly, like, a a decent sized game and stuff, and so there's lots of different gameplay mechanics with
I got that
and
vibe. Like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be bigger than I thought. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, because even sometimes, like, some parts take times because as your character, like, there's different islands to explore, and so, like, you travel on your raft. So, like, it kind of goes at a slower pace, but you can kind of do things
like
to
Zelda
speed it up
Wind
a little
Waker
bit.
over here.
Yeah, but the game, it's a whole journey. Like, it really dives deep into some really interesting lore, but also has this like really dark humor aspect to it. There's also just some like really quirky little goofy things you can do in this game. There's a love story as well. Like, it's crazy. It was a really sweet game. I was really glad to be able to experience it and just fully do everything in that game. And a lot to do, but it's just so funny because you can find the things that you like to do in that game, because this is the game where you can the soul jumping, so you can basically like turn into anything, or like go
turn
through
into animals and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a rock, if you want to slingshot yourself across the island, like just hop from rock to rock between them. Like, yes, it's so funny. There's so many different things that you can like soul jump into it, even like the coconuts, the crabs. It's also funny, the different animals, because it's really nice because you can also swim, but you can also become animals underwater as well to travel that way. And so it's a neat game. Definitely worth your time.
One day, it's in the backlog, and get back to it someday.
Yes.
Someday.
Yeah.
Me and my backlog will have a conversation about life.
No, I understand the backlog for sure, because definitely some of these games that I played this year, I was happy to play them because they had been on my backlog list for a long time. Just like the other game I also played was called Season, A Letter to the Future. It's like a 6-hour-ish game or whatever, and it's more of a slower pace, like story-based.
Like a narrative kind of thing.
Yeah, where you just kind of like interact with the environment, and what's really cool is you get to like, you're basically like chronicling the last couple days left before like a big natural disaster like wipes everything out, essentially, or something, like kind of like right before a big apocalyptic event.
So, like,
and so you
like
can...
Life is Strange, but like without the gay.
I mean, and yes, without,
without like time hopping around.
Yes, of course, yeah, sure. Anyway, but you like, oh my gosh, but you take pictures and you like can do recordings, and you make this whole scrapbook for each area you go to, so you kind of get this like kind of cool creative element, but also like get to slowly uncover like the meanings of certain things, and it's a unique experience for those who like those slower pace kind of like narrative exploratory games. So, but yes, Life is Strange was also great too.
I was about to say, so Life is Strange.
No, but oh man, no.
We loved Life is Strange. I cried for like 2 days after I beat that.
Oh gosh.
And I refuse to go to YouTube and look at the other ending. I can't do it.
Yeah, I didn't even turn back to do the other ending. I'm like, I made my choice. I'm going to stick with that choice. And yes,
I've already
I know I made
once,
people
I'm not
upset
doing
with my
again.
choices.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, go listen to our episode, and then you could let us know if we made the right choice. I'm sure you'll think we didn't, but...
Because we made the same choice, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Pretty sure we did, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we move on...
Yes.
We have our PlayStation wrap-up.
Yes, we do.
We can thumb through there real quick, and I can laugh at myself in disappointment.
Yes.
This is not my PlayStation wrap up this year, folks. It was, in fact, my husband's. It was not mine. I was in there somewhere, but it was mostly him, which is still fun because these are all games that I have played like a tiny bit, or I will get to eventually. So,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't the one playing them this year. So
yes.
Okay, so my husband's number 5 game was Persona 3 Reload at 31 hours. Not bad. I'm a little I guess there wasn't anything that I played for more than 31 hours. Like, dang, dude.
Oh, really? There's not another game on the list that would be yours?
Oh, well, I mean, I have the number 1 spot.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, surely. Yeah, my number 5 was Epic Mickey Rebrushed with 26 hours.
Okay.
Now, I had a little more hours because I had to play it 3 times because I wanted the platinum and I missed the trophy, and I had to go back and play it again, so that's what happened with there.
That's a bummer. That's a
But
bummer.
lovely game. I love this, remake of it. Love the art. Still fell in love with it all over again.
It's a game that I didn't finish, or maybe it would be on my top games list. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, number 4 on my account, the number 4 game that was played was Metaphor Refantasio at 85 hours.
What a jump there.
Yeah, well, it's a Persona game, and like when I beat Persona 5, which was the first game that I played when COVID started, like when they kicked us out of school. Mm-hmm. It took me 100 hours to beat Persona 5, like start to credits. They're big games. They're very big games. Mm-hmm. And Metaphor is a big game, and Brandon, bless his heart, he is sitting at the final boss, and he is just struggle bussing all the heck about it. So
you can do it, yeah.
maybe another 20 hours just to beat this boss. We'll see.
Oh, dang.
We'll see.
My number 4 is Spider-Man 2 with 28 hours. I platinum that game as well.
That one would probably, again, I beat it, but apparently it took me less than 31 hours. But I didn't platinum it either. So.
Yeah.
I beat that, and I haven't really been back to that yet. Yeah. So
that was the game. Yeah, I really just immersed myself in the world, just exploring. I mean,
it's easy to do that in the Spider-Man games. It's so easy. I rushed through like the second half of that game though, so when I like rolled credits, I was like, "Oh, break time!" And I just haven't really. I think I beat that and immediately picked back up Super Mario RPG, and then beat that in pretty quick succession. And my poor ADHD brain was like, "Let's go over here and do this now," and I forgot to go back to Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the Spider-Man 2 story, I guess it's really not that long. It's just I spent time just like
the first
just going around
longer,
and doing some of the like the quests and stuff. So
okay, number 3 was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at 95 hours, but I can only claim maybe 10 of those hours to myself because my biggest regret of this year is that I haven't beaten that game yet. Which for me is kind of like, I don't know why. Don't know why.
You still have time left in the year. You can do it.
Oh, well, that ain't gonna happen. So, I mean, I started it when it came out, and it came out at the time of the school year where I was just absolutely like swamped doing everything else for school. And when this summer came along, and I was like, oh good, I can play it. And I played a little bit more, and then I got caught up doing other games. So Brandon has beat it, and he's being a doll and not telling me any spoilers. So, but I will get to it eventually, and my Final Fantasy friends, I'm very sorry. I'll have it beaten by the time the third one comes out. I promise. Promise.
Yes. Well, my number 3 is also a Final Fantasy game, but it's Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yes. At 35 hours. So,
there we go.
Yeah. There we go. I enjoyed playing my first Final Fantasy, my first run through of Final Fantasy VII. Yes. At least that one. Yes. Now I have to go to work on Rebirth now. So
we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll both. We'll see who finishes first.
Yeah, I know.
Don't do that.
No, I don't. No, I'm not doing it like tomorrow or something. I'm gonna give it time. I'm sure we'll cover it in a future episode.
I'm sure we will too.
Yes.
But yeah, stuff to look forward to there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 2. In my household, this is not surprising to me in the least. But it is Baldur's Gate 3 at 128 hours. And hey, I probably got 15 of those hours.
Okay.
Brandon plays this so much. He loves this game. I love watching him play this game. He's a lot better at it than I am. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. No regrets.
Nice. Well, my number 2 is the game that I haven't finished yet, and that is Fallout 4 at 43 hours.
You know what? Maybe my goal next year is to get Skyrim back in my top 5 games on the PlayStation. You know what? That sounds like it.
We're going to hold you to it now.
I will. Okay.
We're going to hold them to it. Yep.
Okay. Okay. I got to go make a new mod list now, but okay. Fine.
You did it to yourself. I didn't do anything.
I mean, I don't have to make myself play Skyrim. That's not how that works. It's more like I have to let go of my own free will, and I get dragged into Skyrim. It's like gravity. Like, when I let go, I fall back to Earth. Earth is Skyrim. It's just... The trees on the way down, they are Stardew Valley. But Skyrim is the Earth. The cold, flat Earth beneath us. I can't escape it.
Oh, man. But another game we can't escape, I'm sure, is both our number one game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Which we could say it together.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah, Dreamlight Valley. Yep.
Wow, I counted down and everything, Chelsea. Goodness.
Yep, I know. I messed it up. It's fine.
Okay, how many hours? How many hours? Tell me.
255.
Damn it. 239.
I beat you this time?
You beat me.
Wow.
You big nerd.
I know. The last 2
wow.
years, you played way more than I did. Oh my gosh, I finally beat you.
Well, but you also, you went and decorated your valley up, and so kudos to you. I was just finishing the damn Star Pass, really. Well, I mean, I also decorated a lot, but
yeah.
I
worked on some Star Paths too, but yeah, no, decorating, but like I said, I only finished like half my valley, but listeners, if you haven't checked those out yet, we have our valley tours on YouTube.
Yes, we do. Go to YouTube and go watch them.
Yes.
And soon I'll have to make a new one because I just
just
deleted half of my valley.
Yeah.
It's
but
not
I mean,
my
also
fault
with,
they gave me Sally. I have to go do
yeah,
stuff
and
now.
the new Star Path, but then also like the new DLC. There's so much stuff.
And the DLC.
Incorporate.
Oh my god. I haven't really decorated a whole lot in those new areas, and I never really got the itch to decorate in Eternity Isle
oh, no.
At all. But I got to Storybook Vale, and I was like, I'm not going to open up this menu right now. I'm not going to open up.
It's dangerous.
We're not doing
it's
this.
Dangerous, yes.
We got to unlock stuff first. Whew. And I have decorated a tiny bit, like my little house area where the shop goes, and I have plans. I kind of have stuff laid out in a way, but no, we're not there yet. I got stuff to do still.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to cover with the wrap up?
Here, what's your gaming style?
Oh, my gaming style?
Yeah.
It's adventure.
Me too. I feel a little insulted that the characters they chose for adventure were the Astrobots.
It's the game of the year, so
I know, but I want to play it, and here they are. They're teasing me with it, and just dealing with my life over here.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll be on sale, or waiting for you in the PlayStation Store to purchase.
Yeah, it's on sale $50 right now, but I need a bigger sale than that. I look forward heavily. Sing the little theme song to myself all the time. I find it super adorable. But I gotta wait. I'll wait. It's fine. Yeah. I have other things to do. I have other games to play, so no worries. No worries at all. But no, we can post the summaries of our wrap-ups later.
Yes.
So people can see those. Yeah.
So should we move on to our next category?
Yeah, I think so. What we got? Okay, so biggest regret this year. I kind of gave mine. I actually had it labeled as biggest failure. And Chelsea
regret is nicer.
Yeah, Chelsea thought I should use a better word. But mine was not beating Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Greatest shame. That's a bad thing for me. But I'll get there, I promise. Do you have a biggest regret?
Yeah, I think it's Yep. Yep. My regret is basically just getting through more of my backlog. Also, I was hoping, I never got back to playing Starfield, and that's one game in particular that I was hoping to get through and at least complete the main storyline. So, looking towards
someday I might mod the crap out of that, so I can just kind of breeze my way through, because I like the story. I want to know about the story.
Yeah.
But when I say the story, I mean the side stories and everything else too. But I don't want to spend a bajillion hours building up my character, I suppose, which is yes, it's a game. You need to do that. But, mods.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Next category.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. All right. So we've kind of been through our bests of everything, but there's so much more that we did. Do you have any highlights of your year? Anything you just want to talk about and show off or anything?
Yeah. I mean, outside of being a complete awesome nerd as we are, that one of my other biggest joys in life is traveling. And so this year, my wife and I officially have now been to every single state.
That is crazy. Congratulations.
Yes. Thanks. And so, yeah, literally just a couple days ago, we got back from our final state, which was Alaska. So.
And what a way to end it, too. Sleep deprived and watching the Northern Lights.
Exactly. So that was a super big highlight for me this year. Just, I mean, I traveled. I did a lot of other traveling things, not really going to new states. I did go to a couple of other new states as well to wrap up our 50 states, but I got to go to Oregon and go to where they filmed Halloween Town. I did make a reel. It's on our Instagram account, so you guys should check it out. I went there during the Halloween season, so they had everything decked out. Had the iconic pumpkin from the DCOM and everything. It was a lot of fun. I did go to Disneyland.
She left me alone and she went to Disneyland without me.
Yes, and toured the Walt Disney Studios as well.
I mean, that's pretty close by, though, so I can go.
Yes.
Like, I can do that by myself. It's fine. I guess.
Yeah. But those are some big personal highlights to me, just the traveling and just enjoying exploring.
Those are good ones, though. As far as, like, personal highlights for me this year, I mean, like, I got to spend my first year in my life being married, so, yes. You know, like, that's a good one. But also, you know, like, getting back into reading has been so, like, I don't know, beneficial is not really the word I want to use, but, like, it's felt so good.
Yeah.
To, like, get lost in worlds and stories again. Video games are usually a big part of that for me, that whole, like, you know, escapism, but reading is just a whole other thing. And I talked about the Throne of Glass series, but there's other series that I've started this year. Like, for instance, like Robin Hobb's Assassin's Apprentice series. It's like 16 books long. It's like a bunch of different, like, trilogies and stuff. But I started that and I finished the first one on that, and each of those books are, like, huge, like, absolutely huge. Like the audiobook time on those are like 30 hours a piece, something like that. So I look forward to getting to continue that and just introducing myself to more and more and more, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ready for the next?
We do have another highlight.
Okay, yes, we did talk about this earlier. We're talking about, we were having another Dreamlight Valley conversation, and some of the crazy things that happened this year in, like, the story of Dreamlight Valley. As the Eternity Isle story was completing itself, like, our main villain in this story was Jafar from Aladdin. But, you know, we kind of stop his shenanigans, and we pull him on over to our side, and we're like, you're going to be our friend, and you're going to like it. And he's like, fine, whatever. But, you know, he has a hard time socializing, and not treating people like, like objects and pawns and ways to get what he wants. And it's so funny, because there's so many other villains in this game who do the exact same thing, like, constantly. And yet with Jafar,
it's no, you're
the one.
Your limit.
You're the one that, like, if you don't stop, we're gonna seal you back in your bottle. Like, and they have a whole damn trial for this man,
which is amazing.
Which, it's so funny because the characters are legit, like, we are sick of this man. Like, he's used me for the last time. And I'm like, Ursula's sitting right there. Are you kidding me? Like,
and evil Mother Gothel that I despise so much.
You know, Scar, who's literally trying to eat people. But no, that's fine.
Every day. Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Jafar is happy to help you out, like, with what you want, you know, your own evil schemes, if he gets something out of it. Yeah. But, like, no, you get the trial. Like,
no.
You get the trial.
So we actually, like, we hold court. We, like, have to, like, wear, like, court. The outfits.
Like the wig. We have to have a jury and lawyers. Like, the whole thing. Like, this whole kangaroo court going on. And legit, like he went on probation and everything. Like, this poor man. And he doesn't even have a house to live in yet. Like, like you have to go live way over here in this dilapidated castle, and, like, on this other continent. But no, we're gonna threaten you with, like, life imprisonment. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this game. It's there's so many ridiculous moments, but the trial was definitely a highlight this year. Like, oh my gosh, it's just
like the witnesses and like the people that he, like, harmed.
Yes.
Like, they're just so, like, mean. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
He took
I'm
my
like,
firstborn. Like, what are you talking about, Rapunzel? Calm down.
I know, for real, because you have these characters, yeah, they interact with villains every single day. And then, nope, Jafar, yeah, has hit their limit, and they're like, no, we want to banish this man forever.
Like, who hates Jafar? Like, somebody in the development team is like, fine, we're putting him in, but like...
I'm like, that's the villain you choose? Okay.
But hey, I mean, we
Yeah.
are getting Aladdin and Jasmine soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're next, right? They're the next characters I think we're getting.
I think so, yeah.
Or maybe is it... No, I think they're next. Because Alice, like, probably
Is in a
Alice
bit,
and Cheshire,
yeah.
They're like in the summer or something.
Yeah, I'll have to pull that up again to look at that, because I've just been busy with everything else with the latest DLC.
Busy with prosecuting Jafar.
Yeah, that too. Oh my gosh.
But no, that was a highlight. That was for sure a highlight.
Yes. And one other highlight I'll mention that will help us segue into, I believe, our next category is that in general with our podcast, we did actually celebrate our official 100th episode this year.
Oh, yes,
so that
we
was
did.
a really fun milestone.
Yeah. Here's to the next 100.
Yes, exactly. And so with reflecting on that, we hit our 100th episode this year. What are some of your favorite episodes that we've recorded this year?
Man.
Ones
So
that you
this
think
year,
listeners must check out if they haven't already.
I really, like, I'm so proud of us for going through all the X-Men stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
I mean, it's a bigger thing for you because you had to put in, like, my footwork on that has been very natural, like, throughout the last couple years. Well, I mean, 4 years as the Krakoan stuff was releasing, but poor you had to go and, like, dive head first and like get this stuff done. But I'm so glad that you got to catch up on your favorite, like one of your favorite things. We got to have so many like in-depth conversations about these stories and the characters and all the trauma that was going on.
Yes.
But if I could not pick X-Men, I would have to say that I'm so very happy that we finally got to sit down and have ourselves a talk about Hikaru Utada.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
that was such a long time coming episode. It was, her 25th anniversary? Like, that's why we did it. Like, and there's been stuff that's happened since then that we could continue to talk about. But we got to finally and just sit down and talk to each other about her for the first time, like, in such a truly, like, in-depth manner. And that just made me so happy.
Yes, I 100% agree. That is definitely one of my highlights this year as well. I have that one on my list. Another one that I really enjoyed us talking about is Disney in general. We did our kind of special Disney 100 for the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company, and just kind of talking about our favorites of various categories and stuff. And
that was a fun one.
Yes.
Having all of our categories and our top fives of every, like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. It was a blast. Definitely just a tease, just like a little bit of a, into our, like, what we love about Disney, what different categories. That is not the be all end all Disney episodes. I mean, clearly we talk about Dreamlight Valley constantly. There's another big category we've never talked about yet that we keep alluding to. Disney Channel original movies. I'm sure that'll be in the near future as well. There's just so much Disney, but just our love of Disney and just getting able to gush about our favorites with each other.
We're Disney millennials. It's just how it is. So
yes,
and nothing's gonna change us. So
nope.
Okay, well, we always do this, but we have our calendar kind of started for next year. Not that we're gonna give a lot of spoilers away or anything.
No.
But it's kind of looking at our calendar so far. Is there anything, if you could pick one episode that you don't mind kind of spoiling a little bit, something you're excited about? Which one is it?
I would say that in general with our Alfred Hitchcock films, we've been starting it as an annual tradition, doing it for our Halloween episode. But this coming year, we're going to do 2 episodes.
We are. Like, I would, like, this last Hitchcock film, like, we kind of, like, hit our stride. Like, it's really caught on. We have the Hitchcock bug.
Yes.
And so we decided to do, well, why not An extra one. Isn't there like an anniversary or something for him?
It's going to be around his birthday.
His birthday. There we go.
Yes.
But we're not going to tell you the movies.
Mm-mm.
I think we'll let that be the surprise. Yes. But we got some more Hitchcock coming.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have 2 things that I don't know which one to pick for.
You could just say 2. That's fine. There's still a full year, you know.
Well, every month in June, we always try to do something Pride related. Like we did the Life is Strange stuff this last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but next year, and I got Chelsea to agree to it. But
yes,
in June of next year, we are going to have an episode dedicated to the X-Men show. Well, it's not really an X-Men show, I guess. It's a Marvel show. The Runaways. Because Chelsea, you haven't seen any of it.
I've seen
like just bits
part
and
of the first season. Yeah.
Okay, but I think there's 3 seasons of that. And we're going to do all of it.
We can do it all.
And it's the show. It's not the comics. Not the comics, but it's the show. And I'm just so excited because I get to rewatch it, and it's so good, and I love all the people, all the good and the bad of the people. So it's fun. I'm really excited about that. But the other things, I guess Chelsea will let me do too. So yes. I'll be quick. Is that Chelsea she wants to do another Final Fantasy. I guess she liked the 7 remake so much. So I gave her some options. Like, we're going to go backwards. And I gave her some options. And she has picked Final Fantasy IX, which is probably my favorite video game, period.
It's a lot of pressure on me to enjoy it.
No pressure. No pressure at all. But, we talked a little bit. 9 is the last Final Fantasy that doesn't have voice acting. The last pre-PlayStation 2 Final Fantasy, but there is so much to love in the characters, and I'm already like freaking out. Like, to talk about this, everything is so deep. There's connections everywhere and everything that happens in this game, and it's just so good. So I guess we'll be doing that, and that is the beginning of March. So very excited. No pressure.
It'll be a good time. Yes.
Okay, well, is there any games coming out next year that you're looking forward to? No, the release calendar right now is kind of
Yeah, and some of them it's I think they might be coming out next year, but there's not an official
There's
release
always
date.
That chance, yeah.
Yes. I don't know. I think specifically game-wise looking forward to, I think the next, it's not really a sequel, but the next Sucker Punch game, that one that kind of follows Ghost of Tsushima, is Ghost of Yotei, and so that one could be interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that and getting to experience that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There aren't really any AAA games at the moment that I'm waiting for. I mean, I really don't think there is. But I can say that a game that I'm looking forward just to coming out to get to try is the Tales of the Shire game.
Oh.
It comes out in March. Actually, it comes out right in the middle of Flippin' Music Festival. No, it's right after.
Oh, well,
it's actually the couple days after we get back from our band trip in the middle of spring break. So,
nice.
I'm very excited. I'm a Hobbit at heart, so yes. Just the other day, and you'll laugh at me for this, Chelsea, you don't know this yet. Just the other day, I was coming home from work, and I got a little notification from Blue Sky, and it was oh, this game is on sale at GameStop for this much money. And I stared at my phone, and I was I got back into town, and I was 50 feet away from the exit that would take me to the GameStop right there, and I looked at my phone, and I said, okay. And I got no, hold on. Okay. I got off, and I went to the GameStop, and I got in there, and I said, hey, do you have any copies? Do you have any more copies on the Arkham Trilogy game collection for the Switch? She pulled it out from nowhere. She said, I got one. And I said, I'll take it. And she said, it'll be $16. And I said, put it in my pocket right now. And I left. Wow. And so I look forward to getting to relive my love for Arkham Asylum and Arkham City on the Switch, and then laughing a whole lot at how Arkham Knight is going to be on the Switch.
Nice.
So they're not streaming either. City and Knight are digital. I have to download them, which on the Switch is oh, that's a bummer because Arkham Knight's 27 gigs on the Switch, which is a lot. for a Switch game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to delete some stuff, but I will enjoy Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I love those games. I love Arkham Knight too. But just playing it on the Switch, I'm gonna laugh a lot because, you know.
I look forward to hearing about that experience for sure. Yes.
I look forward to getting that far. Although I started Arkham Asylum that evening. I played it for like a couple hours, I think, but it looks great on the Switch. So, you know, no complaints. Yeah. It should be fine. So that's what. Oh, and then we're both looking forward to Wicked 2.
Yes.
So
I thought you were also going to say Frozen Broadway musical.
Also,
to
yes.
Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yes. Watch party. We're going to have a watch party for that.
Yeah. Clearly.
So that'll be fun. Now, there's lots to look forward to in 2025 so far, and we know that there's a lot more that we don't know about yet to look forward to. So, like the release of the Switch 2, whatever that is called, that'll be coming. The last one came out in March, so I'm curious if they're gonna try to get it out in March too, because like the Switch was announced and the release date was not that long from it, so I'm curious if they try to do something similar.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out soon enough.
We shall. So, that's it. That's the end of our 2024 wrap-up episode, everybody. We hope you liked it. If you will comment on wherever you find our video and let us know about your 2024. What were the things that you loved and what were you proud of? And what are you looking forward to? Maybe you'll give us some ideas, something to look forward to as well. But we hope that you all have a lovely holiday season. Tomorrow's Christmas, so enjoy. If you're not already following us on just about everywhere, we've taken the jump into Blue Sky. Go find us there at Pod Demastered. Also on, literally anywhere else except for TikTok. Everywhere but TikTok. Find us there. Send us an email. Shoot us a message. Let us know what you're playing, what you're doing, what you want to see from us in the future as we kind of put together our calendar for next year. We love getting ideas, and we've taken several of those ideas so far, so let us know. But in the meantime, everybody, have a lovely holiday season, and we will catch you next time.
We'll see you in the new year.